Gabriela, 1958. Korčula, Yugoslavia. February. Sardines. We reeked of them. Me and all the other women working at the Jadranka fish factory. Their stinking oil greased up our hair and our skin, and their flesh got wedged under our fingernails. I could taste them at the back of my throat. We sat jam-packed beside the conveyor belts, or on long tables, trussed up in our matching white uniforms and headscarves, preparing the sardines, sorting them, and stuffing them into cans. There was no escape, and complaining made no difference. I would be trapped here until I got married. And even then it wasn't a guaranteed thing. Some women never escaped. My dream was to be a teacher, but Tata said working at the factory was more important because I was doing my bit for the economy. Vela Luka and our family fishing business relied on me. Tata and Josip played their part by hauling in the fish on Krešimira, and I stuffed them into cans. My 18th birthday in January marked 18 months at that prison. Most of the local girls did their time, but that was no consolation. Men rule the roost in Yugoslavia. Girls are second best, and throughout my childhood, I'd been conditioned not to challenge this order. All day I'd been stuck with 2 older girls who chatted between themselves with no interest in talking to me. We had no sooner emptied one tray of the lower-grade sardine chunks when someone loaded another pile on. Our job was to gather up the offcuts and pack them neatly around the higher-grade fillets in the cans trundling past. The offcuts made them look full without being the first thing you noticed. Our supervisor told us the job required judgment and dexterity, but to me it required the patience of a saint. My head felt crammed with the clamour of machines, and the din bouncing off the walls and low ceilings rattled inside me. At times I felt it all might escape as a scream. When the conveyor belts ground to a halt, I ripped off my headscarf, scrunching it into the front pocket of my uniform dress. I searched the room for my friend, Nada. She'd landed one of the better jobs that day, ladling olive oil into the cans before they were sealed. I hadn't seen Antica. She must have been late arriving. There was Nada, standing at the side, folding her headscarf into a neat triangle. As usual, her short, dark hair sat perfectly around her pixie face. She waved, and I signalled for her to wait. I never understood how she could always be so cheerful. Nada would never get into a war of words with our supervisors. Unlike me. I was always saying things that got me into trouble, the same at home. I joined Nada, and we merged in with the trail of women, all in our regulation flat shoes, all trudging across the wet concrete floor towards the cloakroom. The men in their rubber gumboots and overpants were already wielding their hoses, directing the debris to the sides in preparation for the night shift. I worried they might collect us up as well. "Thank God that's over," I said. "Where's Antica?" "Got the worst job," Nada grimaced. "Arrived too late again. Poor Antica. She would have spent all day at the first station, scraping off the scales with the razor blade knife. Her fingers in uniform would be smattered with sardine debris. I scanned the cloakroom for her. "Had to go early," said Nada, scrubbing her hands at the basin. She gave me a knowing look. Her mama was in charge of little Lucy. I peered in the mirror at my washed-out face and greasy hair. Life was so unfair. "That Marin better marry her soon," I said. What a toss-up. Babies or sardines. It was hard keeping the sarcasm from my voice, but there was no point complaining to Nada. She got annoyed if I showed too much negativity. The 3 of us had been friends through school, and it always puzzled me where Nada hid her feelings. She let them out so rarely that sometimes I wondered if I knew her, if she even knew herself.